Stop. Never refrigerate these 7 foods. Protect your health, seniors. Imagine walking into your kitchen on a quiet morning, sunlight streaming through the window, and knowing that every item in your pantry is stored with care and wisdom. There's something deeply satisfying about a well-organized kitchen where each ingredient maintains its natural goodness, ready to nourish your body and soul. For those of us who have spent decades nurturing families and creating memories around the dinner table, the kitchen remains the heart of our home. But did you know that some of our most trusted storage habits might actually be working against us? Today, we're going to explore a gentle revolution in how we think about keeping our favorite foods fresh and nutritious. Welcome, dear friends, to a conversation about kitchen wisdom that honors both tradition and modern understanding. I'm here to share with you 7 wonderful foods that actually prefer life outside the refrigerator. Foods that will reward your care with better flavor, enhanced nutrition, and that special satisfaction that comes from doing things the right way. Before we begin this journey together, I'd love to hear from you. Please share in the comments below where you're joining us from today, and tell us about one kitchen habit you learned from your parents or grandparents that you still cherish. These connections remind us that wisdom in the kitchen is something we pass down through generations. And if you find today's tips helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving this video a gentle thumbs up. It helps us reach more friends who might benefit from these peaceful kitchen practices. Now, let's discover together how small changes in food storage can bring more joy, nutrition, and harmony to our daily routines.
Food number 7. Sweet potatoes, nature's golden treasure. Let's begin our journey with one of nature's most comforting gifts, the humble sweet potato. Picture holding one in your hands, that smooth, warm-colored skin promising the creamy, naturally sweet flesh within. These nutritious gems have sustained families for generations, but they hold a secret about proper care. When we place sweet potatoes in the refrigerator, we unknowingly trigger a process that changes their very nature. The cold environment converts their natural starches into sugars much too quickly, creating an overly sweet taste that can overwhelm their delicate, earthy flavor. More concerning is what happens when we cook these cold-stored potatoes at high temperatures. Those excess sugars can form compounds that our bodies simply don't need. Research from agricultural universities has shown us that sweet potatoes stored in cold conditions can triple their sugar content in just 2 weeks. Imagine that transformation happening in your refrigerator right now. Your nutritious sweet potatoes slowly losing their balanced, wholesome character. Have you ever noticed that sometimes your roasted sweet potatoes taste almost like candy when you expected that perfect balance of sweet and savory? This might be why. The refrigerator, with all its good intentions, has been changing your sweet potatoes at the cellular level. Here's the beautiful simplicity of proper sweet potato care. They want to rest in a cool, dark place, much like a peaceful corner of your pantry or a quiet spot in your basement. Think of temperatures around 45 to 50 degrees, warmer than your refrigerator but cooler than your kitchen counter. A cardboard box or woven basket works wonderfully, allowing air to circulate gently around each potato. The key is keeping them away from light, which can cause them to develop green patches that taste better and aren't good for us. Store them loosely, never in plastic bags that trap moisture and hasten decay. And here's a gentle tip that many find surprising. Keep your sweet potatoes away from regular potatoes and onions. These vegetables release natural gases that can cause each other to spoil more quickly. With this loving care, your sweet potatoes can remain perfect for up to a month, ready to provide you with their full spectrum of nutrients. Vitamin A for your eyes, fiber for your digestion, and those beneficial compounds that support your immune system as you age gracefully.
Food number 6. Fresh bread. Preserving life's simple pleasures. There are few things more satisfying than the aroma of good bread in your kitchen. Whether it's a loaf from your favorite bakery or something you've baked yourself, bread represents comfort, sustenance, and the simple pleasures of life. Yet many of us unknowingly diminish this joy by storing our bread in the refrigerator. When bread sits in that cold environment, something called starch retrogradation occurs, a process where the starches begin to crystallize and push moisture away. Food scientists have discovered that this makes bread become stale up to 6 times faster than bread kept at room temperature. Imagine that. Your efforts to preserve freshness are actually speeding up the very process you're trying to prevent. Think about the last time you ate refrigerated bread. Did it feel dry, almost cardboard-like, missing that tender texture that makes good bread so satisfying? The cold temperature also breaks down those delicate compounds that give fresh bread its wonderful aroma and taste. Those volatile oils that make your kitchen smell like heaven when you bring home a fresh loaf, they disappear in the cold. The wisdom here is beautifully simple. Bread wants to live at room temperature in a container that allows it to breathe while protecting it from drying out completely. A traditional bread box works wonderfully, or you can use a paper bag that lets air circulate while maintaining enough humidity to keep the crumbs soft. If you find yourself with more bread than you can enjoy within a week, here's a gentle technique that honors both practicality and quality. Slice your bread first, then place it directly in the freezer. Freezing works differently than refrigerating. It happens so quickly that harmful ice crystals don't have time to damage the bread's structure. When you want a slice, simply place it frozen directly into your toaster. Don't let it thaw first. That's when moisture problems begin. The result will taste remarkably close to fresh bread, maintaining that tender texture and satisfying flavor that makes a simple piece of toast feel like a small celebration. This approach not only reduces waste, but ensures that every slice you enjoy carries the full blessing of flavor and nutrition that good bread is meant to provide.
Food number 5. Pure honey. Liquid gold from nature's pharmacy. Honey is perhaps one of nature's most remarkable gifts, a golden elixir that has been treasured by civilizations for thousands of years. Archaeologists have found honey in ancient tombs that remained perfectly edible after millennia. This miraculous substance literally never spoils when stored properly, yet placing it in your refrigerator can undo this natural perfection within weeks. When honey becomes cold, it begins to crystallize rapidly, transforming from that smooth, flowing liquid into a grainy, hardened mass that's difficult to use and measure. While crystallized honey isn't harmful, it loses much of the ease and pleasure that makes honey such a joy to incorporate into your daily routine. More importantly, the cold environment can introduce moisture into your honey jar through condensation. Every time you open that chilled container, tiny water droplets form, and moisture is honey's greatest enemy. Research has shown that honey stored below 50 degrees loses up to 1/3 of its natural antimicrobial properties, those amazing compounds that have made honey a healing substance throughout history. Have you ever wondered why honey has been called liquid gold across so many cultures? It contains over 180 different beneficial compounds that create not only its complex, delightful flavor, but also its gentle healing properties. Cold storage causes these compounds to break down unevenly, robbing your expensive, high-quality honey of the very qualities that make it special. The beautiful truth about honey storage is its simplicity. Keep it at comfortable room temperature, between 64 and 75 degrees, in a tightly sealed container away from direct sunlight. Your kitchen pantry is perfect. The honey will maintain its smooth consistency, preserve all its beneficial properties, and be ready whenever you want to drizzle it on warm biscuits or stir it into soothing tea. If your honey does crystallize naturally over time, don't worry, this is normal and easily remedied. Simply place the jar in a bowl of warm water and stir gently. The honey will return to its liquid state without losing any of its wonderful properties. It's like watching nature's magic unfold in your own kitchen. Here's something that might surprise you. Darker honey contains more antioxidants than lighter varieties, but these precious compounds are particularly vulnerable to cold temperatures. By storing your honey properly, you're preserving not just its taste and texture, but all those age-defying nutrients that can support your health and vitality.
Food number 4. Coffee beans, protecting your daily ritual. For many of us, coffee is more than just a beverage. It's a cherished ritual that marks the beginning of each day, a moment of peace before the world awakens, a warm companion during quiet afternoon reflections. Yet, storing coffee beans in the refrigerator can turn this beloved ritual into a disappointing experience. Coffee beans are remarkably porous, almost like tiny sponges that absorb everything around them. Your refrigerator, while keeping foods cold, is also full of various aromas, from last night's leftovers to that piece of cheese you forgot about. Your precious coffee beans are absorbing all these competing scents, creating a confused and unpleasant flavor that masks the pure, rich taste you paid for. But the damage goes even deeper. The constant temperature changes that occur every time you open your refrigerator door create condensation on the beans. This moisture not only dilutes the essential oils that carry coffee's flavor, but it can also encourage mold growth and accelerate the aging process that turns vibrant, fresh coffee into a dull, lifeless brew. Studies from coffee experts have shown that refrigerated beans lose up to 60% of their aromatic compounds within just 1 week. Those essential oils that create coffee's complex, satisfying flavor become solidified in the cold, and when you grind these cold beans, these oils don't extract properly during brewing. The result is weak, flavorless coffee that brings no joy to your morning. The path to perfect coffee storage is elegantly simple. Buy coffee in smaller quantities that you'll use within 2 weeks. Once you open a package, the clock begins ticking on freshness. Think of it as bringing home just enough for your immediate enjoyment, ensuring every cup carries the full blessing of flavor and aroma. If you absolutely must store coffee for longer periods, the freezer is actually preferable to the refrigerator, but there's an important technique. Divide your coffee into weekly portions, freeze them in airtight packages, and only remove what you need. Never refreeze coffee. The moisture damage from repeated temperature changes is irreversible. With proper storage, your daily coffee ritual becomes what it's meant to be, a moment of pure pleasure, a warm embrace that carries you gently into each day with all the comfort and satisfaction that only perfectly preserved coffee can provide.
Food number 3. Fresh garlic, the aromatic heart of good cooking. Garlic has been called the soul of cooking, and for good reason. This humble bulb transforms ordinary meals into extraordinary experiences, filling our kitchens with an aroma that speaks of home, comfort, and the deep satisfaction that comes from cooking with love. Yet, storing garlic in the refrigerator can diminish both its culinary magic and its remarkable health benefits. When garlic lives in the cold, moist environment of your refrigerator, it begins to sprout those green shoots that not only look unappealing, but taste quite bitter and can cause digestive discomfort. More concerning is that the humid, cold conditions can encourage the growth of mold, which produces compounds that our bodies simply shouldn't encounter. Research from university food scientists has revealed that refrigerated garlic loses half of its allicin content within just 10 days. Allicin is the compound that gives garlic its distinctive aroma and taste, but more importantly, It's responsible for garlic's impressive health benefits, its natural antibiotic properties, its support for heart health, and its ability to boost our immune systems as we age. Have you ever tried to chop refrigerated garlic and found it turning into a mushy paste that sticks to everything? This happens because cold temperatures break down the cell walls that give garlic its firm, easy-to-handle texture. When garlic becomes soft and sticky, it's lost not just its cooking properties, but much of its nutritional value as well. The wisdom of proper garlic storage is beautifully uncomplicated. Garlic wants to breathe. Store whole heads in a mesh bag, basket, or any container that allows air to circulate freely around them. The ideal temperature is between 60 and 65 degrees. Think of a cool pantry or cupboard, away from the heat and humidity of your stove area. Never seal garlic in plastic bags or airtight containers. Like all living things, garlic needs to breathe to maintain its vitality. Keep it away from direct sunlight, which can make it bitter, and never store it near your stove, where heat and moisture from cooking can trigger premature sprouting. Here's a delightful discovery that will enhance your cooking. Room temperature garlic releases its flavors more readily than cold garlic. Those essential oils that carry garlic's distinctive taste need to be fluid, not solidified by cold temperatures. When you use properly stored garlic, you'll notice how much more fragrant and flavorful your dishes become. With gentle care, a head of garlic can remain perfect for up to 6 months, ready to transform your meals with its aromatic magic. Once you break apart the head, use the individual cloves within 10 days for the best quality and flavor. Each clove you use will carry the full power of this remarkable ingredient, supporting both your culinary adventures and your continued health and vitality.
Food number 2. Ripe tomatoes. Summer's sweet gift. Few foods embody the essence of summer quite like a perfectly ripe tomato. The weight of it in your hand, the deep red color that promises sweetness, the aroma that carries memories of garden sunshine and warm afternoons. Tomatoes represent one of nature's most generous gifts. Yet refrigerating these beautiful fruits can rob them of everything that makes them special. When tomatoes are exposed to temperatures below 54 degrees, something truly remarkable and unfortunate happens. They begin shutting down their genes. Scientists have discovered that the cold literally turns off the genetic switches responsible for producing the compounds that give tomatoes their distinctive flavor, aroma, and nutritional value. Once these genes shut down, they never fully recover, even if you later bring the tomatoes back to room temperature. This means that a refrigerated tomato isn't just less flavorful, it has actually stopped being a complete tomato at the cellular level. The vibrant red exterior becomes a beautiful shell containing what researchers describe as essentially flavored water, having lost the complex chemistry that makes a tomato nourishing and satisfying. For those of us who rely on tomatoes as a source of lycopene, that powerful antioxidant that supports heart health and may help protect against certain age-related concerns, refrigeration reduces the availability of this vital compound by up to 65%. Even worse, the enzymes that help our bodies absorb lycopene are completely destroyed by cold storage, making even the remaining nutrients essentially useless to our bodies. Have you ever bitten into a refrigerated tomato and found it mealy, grainy, or strangely watery? Under a microscope, you would see that ice crystals have formed between the cell walls, creating microscopic punctures throughout the fruit. The cellular structure has been damaged from the inside out, destroying both texture and nutritional integrity. The path to tomato perfection is wonderfully simple. Store them at room temperature, stem side down. This position prevents moisture from entering through the stem scar and helps block bacteria from finding an entry point. The ideal temperature range is between 55 and 70 degrees. Comfortable room temperature that allows the tomato to complete its natural ripening process. Keep your tomatoes in a spot with indirect light, Not hidden away in a dark cabinet, but not in direct sunlight either. They need gentle light to maintain their nutrients and continue developing their full flavor potential. Never store tomatoes in plastic bags, as they release ethylene gas that needs to escape. If trapped, this gas can actually accelerate rotting and spoilage. Ripe tomatoes should be enjoyed within 3 to 5 days of reaching perfect ripeness. If you find yourself with more than you can use, consider making a simple sauce and freezing that instead. Interestingly, cooked tomato products often contain more available lycopene than raw tomatoes, and freezing preserves these nutrients perfectly. When you slice into a properly stored room-temperature tomato, you'll experience what a tomato is truly meant to be. Bursting with juice, rich with complex flavors, and carrying the full spectrum of nutrients that have made tomatoes a cornerstone of healthy eating for generations.
Food number 1. Avocados. Creamy perfection that demands respect. We've saved the most important for last, the remarkable avocado. This unique fruit has become a symbol of healthy eating and mindful nutrition, prized for its creamy texture, subtle flavor, and impressive nutritional profile. For those of us who understand that good nutrition becomes increasingly important as we age, avocados offer something truly special: healthy fats that support brain function, heart health, and overall vitality. Yet, what happens to avocados in the refrigerator represents one of the most devastating examples of how cold storage can destroy nature's gifts. Avocados contain over 20 essential nutrients, including healthy monounsaturated fats that are crucial for brain health and cognitive function. But cold temperatures trigger a process called lipid peroxidation, where these beneficial fats begin to oxidize rapidly, creating harmful free radicals instead of the nourishing compounds our bodies need. Research from leading universities has shown that refrigerated avocados lose 90% of their antioxidant activity within just 4 days. These antioxidants, including vitamins E and C, are what make avocados so valuable for aging bodies. They protect against inflammation, support eye health, and actually help our bodies absorb nutrients from other foods we eat alongside them. But here's the truly shocking discovery. Cold temperatures don't just stop the ripening process, they trigger an enzyme that actively destroys the fruit from within. This enzyme, the same one responsible for browning when avocados are exposed to air, works overtime in cold conditions, breaking down cell walls and converting healthy compounds into bitter, potentially harmful substances. Have you ever tried to make guacamole with a refrigerated avocado and found it stringy, watery, or strangely oily? The cold temperature causes the healthy fats to separate from the fiber, creating an unappetizing mess that bears no resemblance to the creamy, satisfying texture that makes avocados so beloved. The art of proper avocado care is both simple and rewarding. Store unripe avocados at comfortable room temperature between 65 and 75 degrees. Place them in a bowl on your counter where air can circulate freely around them. They need the circulation to ripen properly and develop their full nutritional potential. To speed the ripening process naturally, place avocados in a paper bag with a banana. The ethylene gas released by the banana can cut ripening time in half, bringing you to that perfect moment of creamy readiness more quickly. You'll know an avocado is ready when it yields gently to pressure but doesn't feel mushy. Once ripe, avocados can be refrigerated for a maximum of 2 to 3 days if absolutely necessary, but the quality loss is significant. A better approach is to buy avocados at different stages of ripeness, ensuring you always have perfectly ripe ones available when you want them. If you cut an avocado and can't use it all, here's a time-tested technique. Keep the pit in the unused half and brush the exposed flesh with lemon juice. Store it in an airtight container with a small piece of onion.
The natural sulfur compounds from the onion prevent browning without affecting the taste. This method can keep cut avocados fresh for up to 2 days at room temperature. The difference between a properly stored avocado and a refrigerated one is truly like night and day. Proper storage preserves those brain-boosting fats, maintains the luxurious creamy texture, and keeps all those age-fighting nutrients intact and ready to nourish your body.
Conclusion: embracing kitchen wisdom for healthier living. As we come to the end of our journey through these 7 wonderful foods, take a moment to imagine your kitchen transformed by this new understanding. Picture your counter graced with perfectly ripe avocados, your pantry holding sweet potatoes in quiet readiness, your bread box protecting fresh loaves, and your garlic breathing freely in its basket. This is more than just better food storage. This is a return to harmony with nature's wisdom. Each of these foods, sweet potatoes, bread, honey, coffee, garlic, tomatoes, and avocados, teaches us something valuable about patience, respect, and working with natural processes rather than against them. When we honor their individual needs, they reward us with their full spectrum of flavors, textures, and nutrients. This is kitchen wisdom at its finest, understanding that sometimes the old ways or the natural ways truly are the best ways. The changes we've discussed today are simple, requiring no special equipment or expensive solutions. They ask only for a shift in thinking and a willingness to trust in time-tested principles. These small adjustments can lead to better tasting meals, reduced food waste, enhanced nutrition, and the deep satisfaction that comes from caring for our ingredients with wisdom and respect. For those of us who have lived long enough to appreciate life's simple pleasures, these practices offer something even more valuable. They connect us to generations of kitchen wisdom while supporting our health and vitality as we continue to create beautiful meals and memories. Remember, every nutrient matters when we're focused on healthy aging, maintaining cognitive function, and feeling our best. Don't let improper storage rob your foods of their natural gifts. With these gentle practices, you're not just storing food, you're preserving nutrition, honoring tradition, and treating yourself with the care and respect you deserve. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 foods surprised you the most? Have you been storing any of them in ways that might have been diminishing their quality? Share your experiences and discoveries in the comments below. Your insights help create a community of learning where we all benefit from each other's wisdom and experiences. If today's gentle guidance has been helpful, consider subscribing to our channel and sharing this video with friends who might appreciate these kitchen insights. Together, we can spread the word about these simple practices that honor both our health and the wonderful foods that nourish us.